Okay, we'll call to order tonight's Committee of the Whole for the Auburn City Council meeting for July the 19th, 2022. The council should have the minutes from the Committee of the Whole meeting from July the 5th. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes? If not, is there a move to approve?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the minutes carry forth. Green Space Advisory Board, Mayor Pro Tem Witten.
Yes, sir. We have two vacancies. Terms begin August 8, 2022, and August 7, 2026. We have incumbents Courtney Revelle, who served one full term, and Elizabeth Mueller, who served one partial term. Courtney Revelle has applied for a second term, and I'd like to nominate Courtney Revelle for a second term.
Second.
I have a motion and a second for Courtney Revelle to serve a second term. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Ms. Mueller did not apply for a second term, and so I'd like to nominate Michael Buckman.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second for Michael Buckman. Is there any discussion or comments? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And motion carries, and we will confirm that later on in the agenda. Planning Commission. The Planning Commission nominations are the responsibility of the mayor. Tonight, we will be filling two vacancies. These terms begin on August the 1st of this year, and they are six-year terms, so they'll end on July the 31st of 2028. The two incumbents are Marcus Marshall, who has served one partial term and one full term, and Phil Chancellor, who has served two full terms, and a lot of that second term has been as the chair of the Planning Commission. Certainly, I want to start by saying thank you to Marcus and Phil for their great service on behalf of the citizens, and thank you for everything they've done, and we look forward to working with them in the future. We had a number of applicants. We ended up with three applicants that went through the interview process here recently, and so the first applicant that I would like to nominate for a full term on the Planning Commission is David Wisdom.
Second.
All right, have a motion and a second for David Wisdom. Is there any comments? Questions? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion carries. For the second term, I would like to nominate Dana Camp.
Second.
All right, have a motion and a second for Dana Camp. Is there any discussion or comments? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that carries forth. And we appreciate Dana and David's willingness to serve on the Planning Commission. This is not the easiest board and commission to volunteer for our city, but it is vital and very important. We look forward to working with both of them in the future. I want to thank everybody that sought this opportunity to be a part of Auburn's Planning Commission and encourage those individuals and citizens to continue to look for places to serve our community in the future. Questions on tonight's agenda for Miss Edge. Good to have you tonight.
Thank you.
Any questions from the council for Allison? We do have a couple of extra items.
We do.
Why don't you go ahead and go over that
We
that
have
have
two
been added?
items of other business that have been placed before you on the dais. Item 11A is a request from the Sound Kitchen LLC, doing business as the Sound Kitchen, for retail beer and retail table wine alcohol beverage licenses to be located at 2459 East Glen Avenue, Suite B. Item 11B authorizes a contract in the amount of $17,832 for the printing and mailing of informational postcards to registered voters in Auburn to inform them of their ward and polling place for the 2022 municipal election. So when we get to other business on the regular agenda, I will bring that back up for you.
Okay, good. All right, any questions for Allison? If not, is there a move to adjourn?
So moved.
All right, Committee of the Whole is adjourned. We'll start in 1 minute. We'll call to order tonight's Auburn City Council meeting for July the 19th, 2022, and certainly welcome to all of you here tonight and those that are listening and watching as well. With the roll call, Lindsay?
Dawson,
Here.
Dixon,
Here.
Griswold,
Here.
Hovey,
Here.
Parsons,
Here.
Stevens. Here. Taylor,
Here.
Mitten,
Here.
and
Here. Would you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and then remain standing for a moment of silence? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. Earlier, during the Committee of the Whole, we had a couple of boards and commission appointments to make. The Green Space Advisory Board, Mr. Courtney Ravel was appointed to a second full term, and Michael Buckman was appointed to his first full term. And then with the Planning Commission, the City Council appointed David Wisdom and Dana Kemp to begin to serve their full terms here in the very near future. Once again, thank you to all of those individuals who seek to serve in our community through these boards and commissions. Under Mayor's announcements tonight, I want to remind our community that Cheers on the Corner will be downtown this weekend on Friday night. This is a unique opportunity for you to come and enjoy yourself in downtown Auburn, have some fun here during the summer. We certainly appreciate the partnership of all the city departments, our Parks and Rec, our Public Safety, our Public Works, Environmental Services. I'm sure I might be leaving someone out. Our downtown merchants, all of our local business owners who just allow the city to come and be a part of downtown Auburn on Friday night. So I encourage you, if you don't have anything to do, please come downtown and have some fun. I want to say congratulations. Auburn's 13 and 14-year-old Dixie All-Star baseball team has won the state tournament a couple weeks ago, and they're headed to Louisiana tomorrow to play in the Dixie World Series, and certainly wish them the best. Today we got great news. One of the most important responsibilities of our community is to take care of our taxpayers' money in the best way possible. And we were notified today after an examination by Moody's and Standard & Poor's that our bond ratings have remained high at AA+ and AA2. This doesn't come easy. There's a lot of effort and partnership and that goes on to make this happen. And certainly, Allison, with your department, we thank you for all the heavy lifting that y'all have done and everyone else that has participated in making this happen. This is your money that you have allowed the city to take and utilize in your best interest. And we hope that these bond ratings signify to you that we're doing the very best job possible. And also, since we've had our last meeting, Auburn Bank has opened their new headquarters in downtown Auburn. Auburn Bank has a long and storied history in our community. Certainly, I'm thankful for their investment in downtown Auburn. They have built a beautiful and interesting building in downtown Auburn that's also going to be an office building. It's going to be a nerve center of activity and commerce for our whole community, but especially downtown Auburn. They've also built a parking deck that many of you probably have already utilized for something in the recent past. And there'll be also another amenity there with a hotel. But I just want to thank Bob Dumas, who's been a loyal part of our community for a long time, and what they've done. They've had a nice grand opening and ribbon cutting here. All right, announcements from the City Council. Anybody have anything they'd like to add?
I have an announcement.
Yes, ma'am.
I will be having a community ward meeting on Monday, July the 25th at the Borkin Auditorium from 6 to 8 p.m. And this is not just from the ward, the entire Auburn community is invited to come out. And that's it.
Okay, good. Thank you, Gotti. Anyone else?
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir.
I'd just like to remind the public that although the mayor makes the nominations for the Planning Commission, the City Council did revise the process for that, and it's a very open and visible process now, very transparent. We have the applicants go through an interview process, which wasn't done in the past. So all the council has an opportunity to interview, to view, to meet, interact with the candidates, and make recommendations to the mayor. And then, of course, it is his responsibility. But just so you know that everybody had an opportunity to weigh in on that process.
Anyone else on the council have an announcement they'd like to make? Okay, we'll move ahead with our university communications.
Hi, everybody. I hope y'all are doing well. Pretty short report from me again this week. Camp War Eagle sessions have ended. We have a great group coming in. We're very excited about them, and they're very excited to be here. Move-ins start early next month, so look like the first week of August, so go ahead and get ready for that and enjoy your last few weeks of peacefully driving on Magnolia, because that's about to get crowded again, but that's a good thing. Also, just with everyone coming back to Auburn, the university is prepared for any potential rise in COVID cases that could occur. The university pharmacy is going to be offering tests to students and faculty. I think if COVID taught us anything, it's the value of preparedness. So we're happy to be able to reassure the community that we are prepared and there are measures in place. Also, I always like to highlight at least one specific student if I can. This week, that student is Akua Adu-Giamfi. She's a grad student in the College of Education, and she was among 12 students chosen globally to receive a Future Leaders Fellowship from the Association for International Agriculture and Rural Development. And she will be able to attend their annual conference in the coming weeks. So we're very excited for her and what that means for our university to be recognized on a global scale like that. And then lastly, our basketball team is participating in a tournament in Israel, July 31st through August 10th. They're competing in 3 games, the 2nd, the 7th, and the 8th, all played at noon Central. And it will be televised on SEC Network. So please take that opportunity to support Auburn basketball a little early. So that's all from me. War Eagle.
Good. Thank you, Olivia. We appreciate it. This time we'll open up for citizens' communications on items on tonight's agenda. Please remember this is only on items that are on tonight's agenda if you'd like to address the city council. If you'd like to address city council about something that's not on the agenda, please wait to the very end. Anyone? Okay, we'll move ahead with the city manager's communications.
Mayor, our first item of business is the consent agenda. Does any council member wish to remove an item from the consent agenda and deal with that item individually?
Anyone? Okay, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All right, there's a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Any questions or comments? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the consent agenda carries forth.
Okay. Under ordinances this evening, item 9A1 is a request from Blake Rice on behalf of McWhorter Properties, Society Hill Estates, LLC, to annex approximately 22.87 acres for property located at 6446 Lee Road 54, also known as Society Hill Road. The Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval at its July 14th meeting. Unanimous consent is necessary.
I'll introduce the ordinance and ask unanimous consent.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Does anyone on the council have a problem moving forward with a vote on this evening? Okay. Any questions or comments from the council? Seeing and hearing none. Lindsay with a roll call.
Dawson,
Yes, ma'am.
Dixon.
Yes.
Griswold,
Yes, ma'am.
Hovey,
Yes, ma'am.
Parsons,
Yes.
Stevens,
Yes.
Taylor,
Yes.
Witten,
Yes.
Yes.
Item 9A2 is a request from Alan Harris on behalf of Tiger Shadow LLC to annex approximately 6.82 acres of property located at 1945 Lee Road 137, also known as Wire Road. The Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval at its June 9th meeting. Unanimous consent is necessary.
I'll introduce the ordinance and ask for unanimous consent.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Does anyone on the council have a problem moving forward with a vote on this evening? All right, seeing and hearing none. Any comments or questions from the council? Okay, Lindsay?
Dixon,
Yes.
Griswold,
Yes, ma'am.
Hovey,
Yes, ma'am.
Parsons,
Yes.
Stevens,
Yes.
Taylor,
Yes.
Witten,
Yes.
Dawson.
Yes, ma'am.
Anderson.
Yes.
Item 9A3 is a request from Martha Shepherd on behalf of Angela White to annex approximately 7.27 acres of property located near the intersection of Heath Road and Insminger Road. The Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval at its July 14th meeting. Unanimous consent is necessary.
I'll introduce the ordinance and ask for unanimous consent.
Second.
All right, have a motion and a second. Does anyone on the council have a problem moving forward with a vote on this evening? Okay, hearing none. Any comments? Questions? Okay, Lindsay?
Griswold,
Yes, ma'am.
Hovey,
Yes, ma'am.
Parsons,
Yes.
Stevens,
Yes.
Taylor,
Yes.
Witten,
Yes.
Dawson.
Yes, ma'am.
Dixon.
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Item 9B1 is a request from Brett Basquin on behalf of Brantley Land LLC to rezone approximately 2.27 acres of property located at 2942 and 3957 Masters Court from Industrial to Comprehensive Development District. The Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval at its June 9th meeting. Unanimous consent is necessary and a public hearing is required.
I'll introduce ordinance and ask unanimous consent.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. At this time, we'll open the public hearing. If you'd like to address the city council, please come forward and give us your name and address for the record. All right, seeing no one, we'll close the public hearing. Any comments or questions from the council? Okay. Lindsay?
Hovey,
Yes, ma'am.
Parsons,
Yes.
Stevens,
Yes.
Taylor,
Yes.
Witten,
Yes.
Dawson,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Griswold,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Item 9B2 is a request from Alan Harris on behalf of Tiger Shadow LLC to rezone approximately 6.82 acres of property located at 1945 Wire Road from rural to comprehensive development district. The Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval at its June 9th meeting. Unanimous consent is necessary and a public hearing is required.
I'll introduce the ordinance and ask for unanimous consent.
Second.
All right, have a motion and a second. This time, I'll open the public hearing. If you'd like to address the city council, please come forward and give us your name and address for the record. Okay, seeing no one, we'll close the public hearing. Are there any comments or questions from the council? Okay, Lindsay?
Parsons,
Yes.
Stevens,
Yes.
Taylor,
Yes.
Witten,
Yes.
Dawson,
Yes, ma'am.
Dixon,
Yes.
Griswold,
Yes, ma'am.
Hovey,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. Moving to resolutions, item 10A1 is a request from Hydro Engineering Solutions on behalf of Greystone Auburn LLC for conditional use approval of a commercial support use mini warehouse climate-controlled storage located at 1600 Sanford Avenue in the Comprehensive Development District. The Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval at its July 14th meeting. A public hearing is required.
Move for approval.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. At this time, I'll open the public hearing. If you'd like to address the council, please come forward and give us your name and address for the record. Okay, seeing no one, we'll close the public hearing. Any comments or questions from the council? Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries.
Item 10A2 is a request from Brett Basquin on behalf of Christopher Terrell for conditional use approval of a performance residential use multi-unit development located at 644 Harper Avenue in the Corridor Redevelopment District East District. The Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval at its July 14th meeting. A public hearing is required.
Move for approval.
Second.
All right, have a motion and a second. This time, we'll open the public hearing. If you'd like to address the council, please come forward and give us your name and address for the record. Okay, seeing no one, we'll close the public hearing. Is there any comments or questions from the council? Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
All right. Item 10A3 is a request from Alan Harris on behalf of Tiger Shadow LLC for conditional use approval of a performance residential use multi-unit development located at 1945 Wire Road in the Comprehensive Development District. The Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval at its June 9th meeting. A public hearing is required.
Move for approval.
Second.
All right, there's a motion and a second. At this time, I'll open the public hearing. If you'd like to address the council, please come forward and give us your name and address for the record. Okay, seeing no one, we will close the public hearing. Any comments or questions from the council?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I have
Sure.
a question.
Yep.
The applicant from, under the commission's action here, it says that each floor plan will be reviewed and deemed a multiple unit development and not configured in a manner more consistent with a private dormitory. That's the responsibility of the planning director to make that determination. Is that correct?
Yes.
Our department will, yes, sir. It's a condition on the approval for tonight, so normally that would be something that's submitted to the department, looked at, and made sure that it conforms with our codes.
Okay, so as far as you know at this point, it's not considered a private dormitory?
No, it's not. We just
Okay.
haven't had those plans yet.
All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay. Any other comments or questions? Okay.
Break stride.
Yeah.
So I appreciate Kelly asking the first question, but I just want to point out, I think it's a really neat opportunity for Wire Road, to redevelop this property, as it's had for years, and a little bit of a with all due respect, a blighted island, in the middle of the city. So, well, it's in the county, but now will be, in the city. And I think a great opportunity for some redevelopment to really dress up Wire Road.
Thank you, Mr. Hovey. That's a great
Look it out.
point. Yes, sir. All right, any other comments, questions, or good points to make? Okay. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion carries.
Item 10B is a request for Core Auburn Glen LLC to assent to the vacation of a drainage, utility, and sidewalk easement for property located at 366 Janelda Avenue. A public hearing is required.
Move for approval.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. This time we'll open the public hearing. If you'd like to address the city council on this, please come forward and give us your name and address for the record. Okay. See no one, will close the public hearing. Any comments or questions from the council? Okay. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item 10C is a request from Core Auburn Glen LLC to accept the dedication of various drainage, utility, and sidewalk easements for property located at 366 Janelda Avenue as detailed on the easement revisions of Hub on campus on West Glen final plat.
Move for approval.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Let's see, is there a public hearing associated with this? No? Okay. Any comments or questions from the council? Okay. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries.
Okay, we'll move to other business. Under other business, item 11A is a request from the Sound Kitchen LLC, doing business as the Sound Kitchen, for retail beer and retail table wine alcohol beverage licenses to be located at 2459 East Glen Avenue, Suite B.
Move for approval.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions from the council? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
And item 11B authorizes a contract with Craftmaster Printers in the amount of $17,832 for the printing and mailing of informational postcards to registered voters in the city of Auburn to inform them of their ward and polling place for the 2022 municipal election.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. I'll stop right there and just encourage our community. We have been talking about this really since the beginning of the year. There are going to be, some of you will have changes in where you vote, and some of your wards have changed. And so it's very important. We've got about a month to go before the election, that you pay close attention to this. We will do what we can to get this in your mailbox. There's certainly information on the city's website that you can access at any time. You can email anybody, your council rep, the city hall, my office, and ask that question. If you need to, you can call up there. We just want to make sure you know where to go on the 23rd so you can cast your vote. Okay? All right. Any other comments or questions?
I do have a quick question.
Yes, ma'am.
Is this just a one-time mailer? I know that previous conversations with the city manager, she mentioned a couple mailings, so.
David Dorton, our Public Affairs Director, can answer that.
The postcard, we just have planned once, and
Okay.
we're actually getting close enough that that's how much time, we've got time for one mailing, but we have a number of other methods planned to get the word out, from social media to traditional media. So yeah, we'll keep a campaign going.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you, David.
Thank you, David.
All right. Any other comments or questions? Okay. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion carries.
Those are all of the items we have on the agenda this evening.
Okay. At this time, we'll open up for the Citizens Open Forum. This is your opportunity to talk to the council about something, anything that might be on your mind. Remember, you have 3 minutes, and please address your questions to the council. And who would like to be first?
Good evening, council and mayor. My name is Robert Wilkins, 261 Denson Drive. As you can tell, this time I did my own notes, so usually I type everything up so I could read it better. So hopefully I can read this. I want to talk a little bit about the Citizens Forum. We have 3 minutes, but we have no rebuttal time. We have several councilmen's the other day that continued on, and we were not able to rebuttal or say anything. I think there needs to be something done by the council and the mayor that allows us to rebuttal. And we are the citizens. It's not 100% dominant by the council, so I think that's very important. Also, I've noticed that the The citizen forum is never mentioned in any other forum. Mayor, when you do the mayor minutes, I never hear you talk about what's going on with the citizen forum, what we say and so forth. Also, on the radio, I listen to all y'all because I'm driving, delivering food and stuff since I can't do my Airbnb. And, I listen to you. I also listen to the city manager, and y'all never mention it. So I would love for y'all to do that sometime. At the last city council meeting, I was very upset with you, Mayor, dealing with the elderly gentleman that got up here. He was slow speaking, kind of like I do. I speak slow. But for you to tell him his time was up, it looked like he had maybe 15 or 20 more seconds. And if I could have given him my time, I would have. I think it would have been appropriate. But I didn't because I'd already gone first. But for you to tell him his time's up and then get higher and higher, say, time is up, please sit down, I think it's just a little too much. We should respect our elder a little better than that. One councilman had said that he'd been with the city for 35 years, and he had said 3 traits that I believe is very, very important and very good. He talked about honesty, integrity, and character. I try to do that every day also, do a good job with that. Only problem I had that none of those traits were in jeopardy by Susan Bolt. I noticed that, and something the great philosopher once said, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we should know how to listen. Another councilman said democracy is at its best with this ordinance 3288. First, we are not a democracy, we are a republic. And thank God we're not a democracy. Second, he'd mentioned that 2 people are unhappy. What about the 151 families, over 400 Auburn citizens? You think that they all of a sudden decided not to be happy? They're happy, instead of unhappy. Also, it's why people are not speaking up. They're not speaking up because they're basically scared of the city manager, her folks like the city prosecutor, the revenue department, and the city attorney. This is just a bureaucratic facade. Thank you.
Who will be next?
Mayor.
Yes,
Council.
sir.
Mayor, Council, I couldn't concur. I don't know that gentleman, but evidently he paid strict attention to your behavior. I want to quote a famous African poet, and you're a smart man, and you're sharp enough to know when you do something wrong. There was a gold rule in my house. It wasn't that a man rules by the amount of money that he has. It was treating a man like you wanted to be treated. Maya Angelou says, nobody cares how much you know, man.
Mr. Jackson, could you give your name and address for the record?
My name, give me that little time back, please. My name is Lindbergh B. Jackson, 814 in North College. Nobody cares how much.
Excuse me, and please address the council, not just the mayor.
Well, I didn't
Thank
think
you.
I didn't think I was addressing anyone in particular but you guys. I can look this way and still you guys can hear me. But however, no one cares how much you know until they know how much you care. And I want to repeat that. No one cares how much you know until they know how much you care. Scott and I and Megan, we met about 3 weeks ago. Scott listened very carefully, Megan also. But she missed the point. She missed the point when I said that it seems as I was being picked out to be picked on. And I referred that back to the way a response came from a complaint that I made concerning Mimosa Avenue, Terrace, or whatever those condos are. I also mentioned an era that we lived through here in the South of Jim Crow. Today, the more things change sometimes, if I'm being an African American, the more things seem to stay the same. Jim Crow 2.022 is where one group of people get to do one thing and the other group of people get to do something else and set the rules as they go. And that was because I immediately received some repercussion as I addressed Megan about that. Megan said that she resented the fact that I would come into her conference room and seem like accusing her people that work with the city. And that at her table, Mr. Scott said nothing. He has been more than courteous and more than kind. My hat comes off to him because he's very amenable to me as a citizen and a stakeholder. But I resent the fact that Megan calls it her conference room and her table. We're all stakeholders. It's all at our table. It's all at our conference room.
Thank you. Who will be next?
Good evening. Oh, sorry. Good evening. I live on 655 Calypso Circle, Auburn, Alabama.
Your name?
Jack. I'm up here not really.
Last name, Jack?
Fowler.
Okay, thank you, Jack.
So, yeah, I really reside in Ward 6, but, yeah. So the reason I'm up here is because recently I've been living in Auburn, dealing with all the construction. It's recently, I think Griswold brought this up, but like discipline the construction, because not throwing names out, but recently I almost got hit by one, we have afternoon rains. What was it? 2 nights ago, and I almost had crashed because where the new Publix is, they put the cones so close to the road. If you turn out my church, like this morning, our church bus actually almost basically got a head-on collision. And last night, their big old fence, they like pulled concrete, blew all over, and literally I had to drive basically over a wire, basically a tire punch. And also one other thing, I'm sorry, I'm trying not to freak out.
You're good.
Is also these, right there is right face of where Auburn Bank is. There's a huge camera that's, I don't know what it is for, but I know like all these construction sites, they always like to watch, people watch them and stuff. But like, why are they still up after they're done? Like, that's what I'm scared of. And it's starting to kind of freak me out. And I get a lot of people calling me saying, hey, like, I thought these were speed trap cameras. And why are they way up here and up in looks like drone heights and stuff. Thank you.
Thank you. Who will be next?
If I may just interrupt, the cameras that I believe Mr. Fowler's talking about are traffic control cameras, is that correct?
I'll let Allison answer that.
Just 1 second, sir.
Yes, those are for video detection for cars, not for.
So that you can control the traffic lights and so on?
We can see the signals, but it also is video detection as opposed to the standard loops that would be in the pavement.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Council, Mayor, my name is Freddie Williams, and I'm at 924 Pleasant Avenue in Auburn. A few weeks ago, maybe a couple of months ago, 5/18/22. No, I'm sorry, I got the wrong date. But a couple of months ago, we filed a report with the Detective Department of the City of Auburn, and my daughter made the statement, and this is the report. We hadn't heard a response from the Detective Department, and because of the nature of the report, I'm very concerned that I haven't heard anything from the department, and it is of very serious nature. I have the report. I'd just like to leave the report for somebody to follow up on it to see if I can get a response from the Detective Department.
Ms. Edge, is there an opportunity for us to have someone from Public Safety contact Mr. Williams?
Absolutely.
Could I leave this with someone, or?
Why don't you
do I
leave
need
that
to-
with Ms. Edge?
You can leave it with me.
Thank you very much.
And I will make sure that it gets to the right place.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
I just want to ask a question. Mr. Williams, do you have a copy?
Yes, I have a copy.
Okay.
The last time I checked on it, they wasn't able to find it in the computer. That's why I wanted to bring it and leave it in good hands with somebody that could let them know.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Who'll be next?
Hi, folks. I'm Steve Cosgrove, and we live at 1927 Watercress Drive in Ashton Park. Beth, sure appreciate your leadership there as our.
Thank you.
Number one, I wanted to express appreciation to you all. I really appreciate how you take your time and effort and put yourself out there to do what's best for Auburn. I've been paying attention to this since 1975 when I first moved here, and there's a pattern that I really, really appreciate. I really wanted to express appreciation to Becky Richardson, his leadership in the Auburn Parks and Recreation. She didn't know I was going to say this tonight, but I'm saying this from the heart. I've known Becky a long time. Just about 3 weeks ago, Becky and folks, my grandkids were here with our Jenna, who grew up here, and you all know, several of you know her. And we went out to the new Town Creek Inclusive Park. Whatever, I don't get all the right words, but it was amazing, amazing. I've been into kids all my life. That's my mission. And what you led in the creation of that, Becky, is just really phenomenal. And you're going to have to widen the parking capacity out there. I'll tell you right now. You got people parking in the streets. I was one of them. But and then also just today, I took a little ride back to Dennius Park out on East Glen. I didn't know what that was. But I see that there's something else going out there. You got some, looks like there's going to be really nice walking trails and so forth. But I really wanted this to be a compliment to you, Becky, and your leadership of the Auburn Parks and Recreation all these years. And I just, in today's headlines today, there's going to be an expansion of, I believe, our soccer fields. I meant to bring that paper today, a little visual prompt. But again, I've had the opportunity to coach kids here for a long time. And that's in my passion, but it was under your leadership, Becky, and Bo Cavan, and now Houston Manning, and other fine folks there over the years that I really appreciated the opportunity to participate in that. But again, the compliments to Becky are a reflection of the compliments to you all, because she's working with you all closely and so forth. But I really wanted to just tell you, I really appreciate everything you do. Appreciate how personable you are. Whenever I see any one of you, it's a first name basis. I haven't had the chance to meet you, Miss Jennifer, but I'm Steve.
Nice to meet
Anybody
you.
else know? I'm just Steve, old Steve. But again, thanks for the opportunity to say this. I really appreciate you a lot. Thank you much.
Thank you, Steve. Who'll be next?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Mayor and Council. My name is Elizabeth McCray. I reside at 830 North Donahue Drive, Auburn Park, Woodland Hills Apartment 48. The last time I was here, we had 5 minutes, so it's been a minute since I've been here. So I might not get to every point that I would like to address tonight, but I'll be back if I don't. I'm here this evening because I'm sad and very disappointed in the act of the city of Auburn for the removal of flowers from Westview Cemetery. Now, I understand the removal of dead flowers and maybe artificial flowers that has been out there a long time. But the removal of these flowers was not only dead, but there was live flowers also. And other items was also removed. I have here a pamphlet of the city of Auburn Municipal Cemetery. And reading through it, I find that Auburn has 4 municipal cemeteries. They also is responsible for the groundworks of Baptist Hills Cemetery, which is a total of 5. It also states that it encouraged people to visit these sites due to the beautification of them. Well, I find that to be untrue at Westview. I have seen some slight changes. Benches have been added and water sprinkled, but I haven't seen the water sprinkles on in quite some time. And another thing stuck out with me was the guideline in purchasing and what ones can put on the grave and grave site. I see nothing in there say that flower is not permitted. And and I find that what the city of Auburn did by removing those flowers is not fair. I have purchased 10 burial plots. I have my deed that you signed and 4 headstones. In reality, that is my property. And the flowers that I put on my mother and father graves, I'm pretty sure other people in the community feel the same that I do. I purchased those. The plot, the headstone that I've purchased, they belongs to me. Now, I have spoke with Selena concerning lighting.
Your time's up now, Ms.
Okay, I'll
Thank
be
you.
back.
That'll be fine. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. I wish y'all would go back to the 5 minutes.
Who'll be next?
Hey, council members. My name is Leah Billy Welburn. I live at 112 North DeBartolome Street, Apartment 5. I'm not here to pick at a scab, but I am here to talk about redistricting. I was a little late in getting here tonight because I caught wind that our sister city, Opelika, had a work session this evening, preceding their city council meeting, where they had a proposal from the NAACP to look at the redistricting process. I know that we have another nearly 10 years before we'll be taking a whack at this again. But one of the things I recall from the process here was that many people were hoping that there could be a more collaborative approach. I don't know what Opelika is doing differently or if their process is going similarly to how ours went. But I wanted to just raise this up to the collective attention so that if they have figured something out that we haven't, that when the time comes around again, we'll all be present to that and can have a process that leaves everyone a little more satisfied. Thanks.
Thank you. Who will be next? Okay. At this time, we'll close the citizens' open forum. Ms. Taylor, I know you'd like to say something.
I would, concerning Ms. McCrae's concern about the cemetery, and I got numerous phone calls about the pulling up of flowers and also removing items out of the cemetery at Westview. And I did speak with the city manager, and she spoke with Becky, as she stated to me. And there are some, the city did lack some things as far as giving people notice. I served on the cemetery board for about 9 years, the cemetery advisory board for about 9 years. So I understand the process and everything, and I do know that the city does a cemetery suite. Was supposed to be doing it quarterly. My understanding is that they fell behind because of COVID. So when the time came, they, and I don't want to put words in nobody's mouth, Becky, but I'm just going to say what was told to me when the time came for them to do their suite after the COVID. I guess it surprised a lot of people. During COVID, there was a lot of funerals, graveside services. And so I think people was upset because they didn't get a notice that they could, as far as things being removed, that some people could have came and got the things instead of them being thrown away. And so it was a sensitive issue at the time. So I hope that going forward that, this will not happen again, because when you're talking about people, loved ones and the ones that's passed on, and a lot of these issues was recent, that they put the flowers and they put these different things on on the graves and stuff. And I understand what the policy says and everything, but sometimes when you're grieving, you don't think about to go get your deeds and find out what you need to put out there and that type of stuff. So just as, and I'm asking Allison, just as for the record, can, do you mind if Becky, explain some of the things that went on and what they're gonna do in the future to, make it better?
Absolutely. I'll have Becky respond to that.
The, the deeds at all of the cemeteries, excuse me, state, that no enclosure of any kind, such as a fence, coping, hedge, or ditch, shall be permitted. There were some fences that had been put up around graves. That benches, settees, urns, boxes, shells, toys, and other similar articles shall not be permitted. And we had quite a few solar lights that had been put. And in our estimation, the solar lights would be one of the other things under this this area. And the the fact was there was quite a bit of things, and they were removed. I think the thing that is probably the most concerning is there was some confusion about flowers because of there are quite a few graves at Westview that do not have vases, and so people put the flowers up. They put them in the ground up next to the marker, and so some of those got removed by error, and we are trying to work with property owners to give them a reimbursement for those. So if Ms. McCrae feels that she was one of those people, I do have the forms with me tonight if she would like to come get a form from me, and she can fill it out and return it to our office at the Harris Center. But we will, we have it on the signs at all the cemeteries that flowers and other items may be removed at the discretion of the City of Auburn. We intend to expand the information on the sign and include a place that will enable us to put a notice of when sweeps will be done. And we generally in the past have given about a week's notice, and we'll probably still go with a week or 2 weeks' notice.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Anybody else from the council have any comments? Okay, is there a move to adjourn?
So moved.
All right, we're adjourned.